Alrighty team, welcome. How are we guys, ladies and gents? Hope you're all doing well. Let's get the show on our own as always. Good morning, good afternoon, and very good evening, no matter where you are. Hope you're all doing well. Welcome to a special Friday edition. I don't often stream on a Friday, but I do have the availability today, so I thought, why not? Gold at all-time highs. Hands up, anyone in a gold buy at the moment? If you are, please guide to the left. This means it's going to just continue to fly to the upside. There is going to be pullbacks. I'm running gold buy. Been in for quite a while actually. I've been in some drawdown as well, but it's now safely in profit. About 16 pips at the moment, so doing its thing. I've already secured 50%, and fantastic week it's been. So we'll continue anyway. We'll have a look at both gold and GJ. I'll briefly go over the entry shortly. Let's quickly have a look at the news moving forward today. We got some high impact news to come for the pound retail sales, so be wary of that, anyone trading a pound. To be honest, when I first came to the charts earlier, the spreads on gold were really wide. I thought it's going to be one of those days where it's just not tradable. I had spreads about 5 pips on IC markets, which is quite unusual, but it has settled down, so I'm not sure why it jumps. Some of you may know, could be some news about. I can't find anything, but it's settled down just now, which is good. So we'll see what we can come up with moving forward. Likely going to be waiting for a bit of a pullback, to be honest. There was an entry based off the 5-minute, but that's come and gone. Prior to the stream, to call it out in my group. I'm not sure if any of the guys managed to get involved, but since has played its part. So anyway guys, we'll have a look at GJ as well. Guys, if you could, make sure to hit the like button. Those of you on YouTube, TikTok, smash that screen for me. I will say g'day to you guys shortly, and if you have questions, charts you'd like me to look at, please don't hesitate to send those in. Once again, I'll get to those shortly once I've done the analysis. So guys, let's have a look, and let's start with, as always, let's start with the gold, and starting with that weekly time frame. And what we can see is we are extremely bullish. Very strong bullish candle, obviously into all-time high territory. 3100 flat is that next level that we'd be looking to target to the upside. The thing is, there is no data, so it could continue to burst through. It doesn't necessarily have to reject 31. It could burst right through that. At some point it's going to make a bit of a pullback, but every time we've made a pullback, we've formed support and continued to the upside. Reason being is because the structure, the bias across the board is bullish. Daily bullish, higher high, higher low, strong bullish catalyst candle on that previous daily candle. If we were to continue bullish, no need to break our own low, so we will mark that in just now. We're currently at the daily high, 4 hour, obviously very bullish as well, and we can see that daily low kind of lines up with that resistance here to the left, so we'll just put that in, and we'll now remove that horizontal. As far as resistance, we have absolutely nothing. Onto the 30, and it's much the same, to be honest guys. What I'm going to do in the 30 is draw in this zone. The most recent level of support is just here, this whole level around that 30.74 to 30.70 roughly. Now, very simple for me on gold today, and trade is currently flying. I'd rather it pull back, in all honesty. The fact of the matter is, if you're not in a buy just now, it's a bit of FOMO if you try and jump in, unless you have a signal when it comes to some sort of edge that you use in the market. But for me, the entry had to have come earlier. So what I'd be looking for is price to come back down, retest this 30.70 sort of level, 72, 74, form support above it, wait for a catalyst in price action to look for a buy. Now, I would consider sells. Reason being is, I know I trade on a Friday. You guys would know who follow me regularly. I prefer to trade the strength of the weekly, unless I have a catalyst. Now, the catalyst here would be the fact that gold would flip 30-minute structure bearish. If we close below, technically close below that 30.72, 50 sort of region, but however, just below it, running into some more support. So if we were to begin to close below 30.70, we flip the 30-minute structure. Not only that, we've got some clean traffic to the left, potentially take it back down to that 4-hour resistance around that 30.57 sort of region. Just gonna delete this and draw it in again according to most recent price action. I'll just use that whole level. So I would consider the counter trend bias sells once we have the confirmation of the 30-minute structure flipping back bearish. Now for any continuation buys, in my opinion, moving forward here on gold today, definitely need some sort of pause. So what I mean by that is you want to see at least minimum 15-minute bearish candle, and then if we get, so if something like this presents within price action where we get that pause followed by the bullish engulfing, where we could look for the continuation buy, whether it be upon the limit order or upon continuation as it begins to break above the catalyst count high. That is the only way I would consider anything above the high at the moment. But quite frankly, if you're not in a move just now, it's a bit tricky. You really need to let it reset again on gold. So that is my opinion of gold moving forward here today. Well done if anyone is currently running some gold trades, but for the time being, for those who aren't in it, you got to wait for it to reset. And in the meantime, let's take a look at GJ and let's see what we've got on GJ. See if we've got something that we can come up with shortly. All right, starting once again that weekly time frame, and we are forming a very strong bullish candle. So based off that, what I'm likely will be looking for is, again, levels within this candle that we should, if we do pull back to the previous levels of support, but if we would to respect those levels, would be options to buy to take it back up towards the high. However, if we begin to break below those levels, maybe we're flipping some structure on the minor time frame that could provide some sort of catalyst for a sell to take a deeper correction within the current weekly candle. But however, strong bullish, currently pulling back to retest that weekly and daily resistance. Daily structure in itself is bullish. We have a very strong bullish candle in the previous daily candle. Fairly significant pullback though within the current daily candle. We're going to mark in, actually we're not going to mark in anything just yet. So we know we're technically bullish. Currently pulling back to, actually we're going to mark in a 50% of that bullish candle. And what I want to see, and this is one of the ways I use a fib, I want to see the buy step in around the 50% mark, form support which lines up with previous resistance on the minor time frames, and that could provide a potential entry point for a buy. If we begin to pop below that 50% level, which lines up with some resistance here to the left on the 4-hour on the minor time frames, then I'd be looking for, first of all, pop below, retest and resistance to form, and then we could continue to the downside within the daily candle. However, structure wise, 4-hour, we are definitely bullish in structure. What are we rejecting to the left? A little bit of resistance here, it's respecting. If we begin to break above the high, definitely options to buy it. That's just looking at the 4-hour. I'm pretty sure 30 will be nice and clean as well. As far as resistance, we're going to mark in the previous level here, which lines up with the 50% of that daily candle. Now onto the 30. All right, so we're going to leave the horizontal. We're going to shift this up. Reason being is we potentially have a sell catalyst soon. It's bullish on the 30, so it's bullish across the board. If with that being the case, seeing it is a Friday, I would definitely rather trade in line for the structure and the overall bias. However, what I can see is we could potentially, similar, well, not gold is still trading bullish, but potentially we could be flipping the structure in the M30 on a closure below this 194.828, and if that was to be the case, that would open up some options to sell it. We've got some clean traffic to the left. I'll be wary of the 50% of that previous daily candle, but if we begin to pop below that, once again, that's some really nice clean traffic to the left. So it would not put me off looking for a sell. So potential sells below that point there. Definitely need the closure in the M30, a retest, continuation for it to be valid in my opinion. It's about to close and it's not closing below. And otherwise, we're at support. We're currently very bullish. The weekly's forming very bullish candle. If we respect this level of support and I get my price action signal, then I'd be looking for a potential buy from the current level on GJ. Perhaps we'll just grab some more liquidity, creating the low of the day. And if we begin to form support again at this level, it could be us to head back up for the remainder of the session. But once again, we've got some high impact news now on the pound, so be very careful if you are currently running trades on the pound at the moment. Let's see. Nothing yet for retail sales. Looks like it could be a bearish one though. Meantime, guys, how are we? How's the week been? Let me know, guys. TikTok, welcome to everyone of you in the chat. YouTube, Lau, Franco, Beats, Steve, good day to you guys. Welcome. And TikTok, what have we got question wise? Speak to me, guys. How's the week been this week? It's been personally a fantastic week. It's been a cracking week. It's been some quality solid entries, and for me, that takes that I think to 5 wins, one break even for the week. So it's been a really solid week. I think 3 of those were called on stream. Just skimming through the YouTube chat. Welcome to everyone. Appreciate you joining. Thank you to the new followers. I don't think I missed anything. Nor Alia. Gold is flying today. It definitely is back and more up at all-time highs yet again. Last phase 2 yesterday, so nice one. Good work. Well done, mate. So now just take it easy, no rush. Don't do anything stupid. Be patient, stay disciplined, because these challenges are designed for people to fail based off just lack of discipline. Alim Pal, now let me. Welcome to you. Brian, US 30. Yeah, I'll have a look at it. It's not a pair I bother with. Wyckoff, yeah, just had a look at it. Harry, how about US 30? I wouldn't trade it this time of day, to be honest. I love Lamb. Choppy at first, but when gold finally broke out, game over. Yeah, it was. Probably from down here too. I'm assuming if that's what you're talking about. I was from around here, so I was stuck in about, I think it was around 18 pip drawdown, but eventually went my way. So I secured partials around that 15 or 16 and just letting the rest run. It's been a quality week. I was willing to take a bit of a punt on it. Some of the profit. Not a big trade. Fridays I never roll with big positions. All right, so US 30. One reason why I don't like to chart this so much is because of all the gaps. I think it's a bit awkward as a scalper personally, for me anyway. But anyway, weekly, weak bullish, open a big gap to the upside, starting to pull back. So still bullish though. We're just going to see what levels we've got within a weekly candle. Daily structure is bearish. Previous daily closed a doji candle. So based off that, that is potential pause within price action. If we were to begin to break it, seeing it happen at resistance, if it happened at support, it's a potential reversal sign. If it's happened up at resistance, rejecting the levels here to the left again. So therefore, if we were to begin to break that previous daily candle's low, I feel there's a good chance we're going to come down and fill that gap at the weekly open. It's bearish in structure. 4 hour as well is technically bearish. Once again, below that wick, we've got some clean traffic down to fill that gap, so that's likely going to be a good destination to get involved in sells. Above this resistance, looks like good options to get in buys. So we're bearish on the 4 hour and bearish on the M30. So bias is bearish. Bias is definitely bearish. And for me, what I'd be looking at on US 30 is definitely the sells upon continuation below that previous daily candle's low, as I mentioned before. Forming a doji candle just below the resistance to me is more of a potential sign of a pause, and if we were to begin to break it, that clean track to the left, there's a high probability we're going to come back down to fill that gap at market open for the week. So Definitely would be interested in continuation sales below the previous daily candle's low. Would have to wait and see how price approaches to determine whether I need to wait for a closure below. A higher probability and a better quality, more quality entry, in my opinion, would be just to simply wait for a closure below, whether it be on a 15 or 30. Now, looking for me, I would not consider. Actually, no, I would consider the buy because the weekly is still forming bullish. And if we were to pull back and retest the daily high and begin to pop above the daily high, which is just this point here, when we can say we've bounced off some support here in the 4 hour, then there is a good chance that we could come back up. We've got clean candles up to that 42,453. So therefore, that would be a decent entry point, in my opinion, for a buy. And if we were to reject that level, I'd be definitely keen on selling it back down. So long as the move back up is a relatively clean one. Back up to that level. And that will look... So clean move back up if you can't get into buys. Look, would I consider buys lower down? Potentially. You got the right catalyst. But the preference would be to try to avoid the buys at the moment. Wait to see if it does break its own high for the daily. It's much cleaner above that point. And if it does reject below it, would be options to sell it. That's my personal opinion of it. I wouldn't touch it at all personally this time of day. Gold is absolutely pumping. Got about 22 pips on the table right now. GJ, bullish engulfing would be very nice here in the 30. I mean, what would be fantastic here on GJ to provide any sort of option would be, and it's free education, guys, so just listen in. Bullish engulfing 15. Weak bearish second 15 of the M30. What that does is close the 30-minute candle. A strong bullish candle at the support respecting the 30-minute structure, but also you got a minor resistance forming within the 30-minute candle. So if the new candle opens up, creates a lower wick and begins to create that minor resistance. First target is that point there. Second target is that point there. Third target is back at the high of the range. So something that you could contemplate for dip present. So once again, it's about free education on this stream, guys. That's what I'm here for. Alexia, good morning to you. Can you please look at gold? Yeah, so I've had a look at gold. Unfortunately, if you're not in a gold buy just now, I think you need to chill and just wait for it to reset. I mean, have I even got another valid option of 5 minute? Nah, it's you would have had to be in just before. So it's my entry was based off the 5. The gist of it mainly was the 5 minute kept closing higher highs, higher lows. You had a strong 30-minute closure as well. Steady uptrend on the 5 minute. Not that I would use trend lines often. I don't want to give away too much of this particular entry, you know, it's more for the members. But it kept trending up. It kept respecting the structure itself on the 5 minute time frame as well, creating some series of lower highs, higher highs, higher lows. The probabilities are, if the clean traffic to the left, that if it broke once again, it was going to make another impulse up. But again, at some point it's not. At some point it's going to just make a bit of a pullback. Yeah, I can't give away too much because that's more for the members only. It's the one thing that I don't really share on here. Been a really solid week. Been probably one of the best weeks of the year, personally. Last week was really quiet. Probably the quietest one, maybe the quietest week of the year, and turned into my runners has been taken out. It's turned into this week, which has been phenomenal. There's been plenty of options in my opinion for the way I trade, the type of catalyst I'm looking for, and I've been on the charts for the most part of it, so been a solid week. Okay, London session is in 50 minutes from now, just under 50 minutes. Z-Lang, yeah, definitely still bullish on gold. I'm not keen on trying to pick the top and look for a sell. For me, the only time I would consider a sell is once we have confirmation of 30-minute structure flipping, which isn't until this 30-70 sort of region anyway, so far off it at the moment. And us buy, yeah, it's pretty much the story of the week on gold. Ali, I assume you mean gold. Slow, 5.7. Pullback coming soon. It could. Not everything can trend forever. Dollar, is that buy zone? For me, this is a buy zone. This blue zone. Yep. So I'm streaming on YouTube at the same time, guys, so you get the full screen on YouTube. Line architecture, good morning to you. Alexia, when are you always live? Around this time, Monday to Friday. So 6:45 AM, I usually start the stream on YouTube. Really looking forward to it because next week, well, on the weekend, the clocks change over in the UK. It doesn't change here in Southeast Australia until the following weekend. But either way, it's just better because I start earlier, I finish a bit earlier. It means I'm not having dinner late, not up at all times of the night for MY. So it's a much better changeover for me. Pent for the king. Where can I take a sell? If you want to take a sell, I can't see what sort of catalyst there are to sell it. I would not be calling a sell. Got to think of a few things. Where are we in order for you to have the confidence that's going to reject at the moment? There is no resistance to the left. So everything is a key level. You just don't know where it's going to reject. It could just continue to pump. The only thing you can really target is the psychological numbers, the quarter numbers, the whole numbers. But without any sort of catalyst, so any sort of even micro trend structure flipping, so create a little bit of resistance here, a little bit of support, closure below the support, tap in, rejection. You don't even have any of that at the moment to give you any indication that's ready to pull back. So what I can keep doing is creating these little pauses and then continuation, pause, continuation, and that's what it's continued to do all throughout the day. And there is absolutely nothing to suggest that's what it may not continue to do. It could definitely continue in the same fashion it's been trending in pretty much all week. All good. Yeah, I just don't want people to, do anything reckless trying to get involved in trade. And GJ, potentially, what I say, guys, strong bullish first 15, weak bearish second 15. Let's close the 30, a bullish engulfing. That would be fantastic. So we still could have an option on GJ. What I think about Tesla, Z-Lang, I don't look at equities and that, to be honest. I just don't like charting and perform gaps. I don't trade stocks or anything like that. Last I heard of it, it was well overvalued, but I have no idea. So I'm not gonna lie to you. I mean, if you're scalping, I can give you my opinion of it. Bullish weekly, based off the candle. Pulling back quite significantly just now. Let's see why. Daily, I hate all these gaps. It's an ugly daily candle. So it's got a higher high, high low, but is now approaching its low. Structurally, it's also... I have no idea what to call it, to be honest. These gaps, I'd say it's bearish. I would say it's bearish until back above 368. Or you could argue bullish, I suppose. Yeah, these gaps are really awkward. There's some support. There's a resistance. 30's bullish. I'd be looking for buys for me. And what I would suggest is catalyst to sell would be closure below this point, flipping a 30-minute structure. As he has to sell it, there's a good chance it's going to come back down, potentially filling that gap on the daily. And what we've done recently is formed, or potentially now, well, not now, it's not open, obviously. What's going on here? It's not open. But upon the closure, what it did do is form some resistance back near the support. So what I like to see around the open, see how it respects this level, and if it does, to get involved in buys, I want to start popping above this resistance to take back up to that 287.50 sort of region. And if it drops below it, sells below at 266.5. That's my personal opinion of it. All right, gold, bullish engulfing, M15 would be valid. Sand man, gold pumps, BTC dumps. Yeah, it did drop a bit, didn't it? Yeah, I see what you mean. It's gone down. It's not. I mean, it's 2,000 or not even $1,600 move roughly on Bitcoin. It's not even that big, to be honest, these days. The altcoins, so they're beginning to dump. That's interesting. That's actually. That's good. I want to see ETH capitulate, to be honest. Probably one of the only people when it comes to see, this isn't trading, this is, I'll call collecting, because I don't want to get a ban on TikTok, who likes to see things go down, because it just means I can get in at a cheaper price. That's what it means. Continues to stack. Not interested in you know, selling any of it anytime soon. So now look at gold. Well, let's see what a 15 closes. Ala Mo Eagle. No, I cannot. Bye, man. Thank you. Appreciate it. Hope you're well, mate. I don't even have any soul to send either way. Underdog. Gold. Until 3100, easy. Look at the gold future gap and price it will follow. Fair enough. I believe you. I'm an advocate for gold to continue up. I'm pretty, you know, very confident very, very confident that's where it's gonna head soon. Palamo Eagle, you did try, it's all good. I used to, but I've had my fair share of ups and downs with the crypto stuff, so. Underdog, first time in my life experienced something like this with gold action and gap opening. Okay. I've never looked into it, to be honest. Futures gaps and that. Never looked into it. Dollar GBPJPY. Yeah, GBPJPY is looking pretty good, guys. Let's keep an eye on it. It's where he wants to close above. Just remove that for the time being. GCI, is that the ticker? GC1 or GC Gold Futures. Okay, yeah, I see it. Yeah, I know what you mean. Interesting. I've never actually looked into that, to be honest. Yeah, interesting. I've never looked into that. Keep a bit of an eye on it. So the spot price usually lags and catches up to the futures price. Our gold buys are still looking pretty good, guys, as well. That's if you're willing to take it upon continuation. There is nothing to suggest it can't make another impulse up. But I would definitely go low risk. Personally, that's on a Friday. The first trade I took was a very low risk. So that ended up in about 15, 16 pip profit. That was prior to the stream sent into the group. Alright, JJ flipping. So he still could have a potential catalyst here, but the issue is I wouldn't want it to push much further, because the fact of the matter is not going to have the margin. Yeah, you're not going to have the margin because you got this resistance where it could reject this area consolidation. So it really can't push anymore, to be honest. So we could be more focused on gold again. Yeah, as long as it doesn't go within the next 5 minutes. I've got an entry valid also in accordance to the 5-minute time frame, but that may play out prior to the 15 closure. Check 15 pips. It's $1.50 up on gold. Yeah, well, it's technically not, I don't think, the way they refer to it on baby pips and that, but it's just how we refer to it, scalpers. So $1 is a 10 pip move. Underdog gold future leads the way of $10 difference if you compare all-time high with. Yep. Yeah, interesting. Never looked at that, to be honest. Jerome, AUD analysis. All right, got enough time. So weekly, forming a weak bullish candle is currently pulling back. Previous candle also closing a long wick to the upside. It's just struggling at around this 63 flat sort of level. Daily structure is bearish. Yep, structure is bearish, but once again, just in heavy consolidation. Really tough level at 63 key level. So bearish on a daily, bullish on a weekly. 4-hour structure is still technically bullish. Yeah, it's not close below this swing point. It's tapped below it, but it's not close below it. So I'm calling it bullish. That's the most recent level of support. Most recent resistance. This level here. So we can see we're bouncing off a very strong level of support. And a 30-minute, to me, low, high, appears bullish. So therefore the bias is technically bullish. Bit difficult to buy it just now because you're buying it back into a mess, to be honest. Sells below 62,780. Closure below, you'll confirm a structure flip in a 30. It's likely to make its way down a little bit lower, but there is no margin on it, to be honest. What I'd be doing is waiting for it to either come back down, form support again to look for a buy, or wait to see how it reacts to this resistance here around that 63 flat again, keeps rejecting it, and then look for an option to sell it. There is not much on it at the moment. It's just a really choppy, very tough level, quite evident on the higher time frames. It's very choppy on the higher time frame. The beauty about these majors is sometimes you can get 1-to-1 of 4 pips or so, and there's nothing wrong with. I've got mates who have traded with 4 pip stop, targeting 4 pips with on a 1-to-1 on a full risk trade and secured full profit. So as silly as it sounds, if it's there to be taken on the majors, then there's nothing to say you can't do it, or there's no written law that you have to secure minimum of 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 pips. Have a plan, and if that plan is that you're looking for a 1-to-1 on the majors and you got a 5 pip technical stop loss, be happy if you get your 5, maybe secure partials and let the rest run. Gold rejecting. Alright, so let's keep an eye on GJ with a minute and a bit left. Don't feel like we're gonna have the margin though, in all honesty. Just not there. It's a tough one. Look, as an early entry, not a bad option. If you want to get in early, it's respected a 30-minute structure. You got bullish engulfing. For me, I don't like buying it into consolidation. ByBit, how much JS 58? 280 US cents to dollar, please. No idea what you're talking about. No name GJ, yeah, so that's the potential option. Bullish engulfing. I don't have that minor pause in a 15 though, which would have been really good. And once again, for me, that is a level where it could reject, and that's in fact marries. It's 9.5 pips above the high. Once you count for spread, it's about 8 pips above the high of the catalyst candle. So it's just means it's, for me, it's not clean. As an early entry, I can understand it, and I don't think it's the worst entry. It's definitely a level you want to be buying from, but it could easily just chop about, tap into this level, end up doing this again, and then we end up back at lows. So there's just no clean area. But if anyone is interested in early entry, what I would suggest is wait for a lower wick, and your entry will be just a bit above, like about a pip and a half above the high of the previous candle. You'd be taking anticipation that the low of the day could be set, and we could end up heading back up. For me, it's not clean enough. So I'd personally rather not. Gold is rejected. So for me, I'd rather wait and see what presents at London Open. And if, let's just say this 15-minute candle on GJ, this was to be the highest point of it, and we closed weak bearish, then we could get a slightly earlier entry on the next 15-minute candle. And that would give us maybe barely enough margin. It will give us literally about 10 pips. So for the time being, let's just chill. There is no clean entry for me. And there's no need to force anything. Again, we just look for quality entries. Slow, gold going down slowly. Yeah, there's no momentum behind it though at the moment. It's just a bit of a... This type of move could be easily erased very quickly. Alright, so this is where I can use the fib. And what I'm about to do is just draw in the 0.382 of the current candle. And the reason why I'm doing that is because if it closes above it, that would be then, to me, I determine it to be a weak bearish closure. So it's a weak resistance forming at the support. Therefore, if the next M15 candle was to begin to break above that candle's high, with relatively clean previous bearish candles to the downside, we could look for a potential entry above the minor resistance, take it back up to that 195 to 60 region. So if this shifts and creates a lower low, then I have to again use the fib and adjust that level. So I use the fib very differently. I use it to gauge the strength of candles, to determine whether I can take an entry if it's valid based off an impulse entry, or if I need to wait for a further confirmation, such as another candle's close back above the high. So in gold, we can draw some minor resistance. Zone. Assuming you mean buy, sell or buy. Gold, it's all about the buys for me. Once again, there's no need to force it. I've already been in a successful gold buy, which I did share with my guys prior to the stream. Gave them enough time to get involved. Sat through a bit of drawdown, but eventually it did make the move up. So I did manage to secure some profit already today, so no need to jump into anything. Harold, USD definitely very much bearish, big time. Yeah, I did say it was bearish. I had a look at it before. Yeah, I definitely would prefer to sell it. It's at a strong level of support though. But the bias is for sure, it's bearish at the moment. As also it's taking a bit of a tumble after what was a pretty solid bounce back above the 20k region. That looks to be bearish as well. Guys on TikTok, also just make sure to keep an eye on YouTube as well, because like you can't find me on TikTok. They're a lot more strict with this type of thing on TikTok, and I would have been banned. So yeah, it's the same profile name. Streaming both live on both YouTube and TikTok. I did? No, I haven't, but I'm not interested, man. This is my stream, so we don't go sharing someone else's stream on here. Not without my permission, anyway. No, it's gold. Yeah, pulling back, it's all good. GJ dropping as well. Just give me a minute, guys. I'll be back very shortly. He doesn't teach strat. My messages keep getting deleted. He's exposing fraud in the market. Never heard of him, to be honest. I mean, good on him if he's doing so. Because there's too much of it. That's the thing. That's why I always say you're better off following people who trade live, and you can make a judgment for yourself. That's what I always say. We can't hide nothing. We're trading live, we're calling it live, we're putting our reputation on the line. I've been lucky enough to, well, it's not luck, that's the wrong word. I've, you know, been fortunate enough following my what I do as a trader, and my record is, I think it stands out for itself, to be honest. It's all on YouTube though. So I've got a win rate of 80%, basically right on since I've been starting these streams, which is a year ago to pretty much to the day. Tina Beauty, it's just look me up. I can't send links into the chat, it won't let me. Plus, I don't want to get a ban, so I'll type out the channel name. The same as the profile. It's very interesting, like very, very deep. I've seen someone on YouTube try to expose fraud in the industry, and that was really interesting. I'm wondering if it's the same guy, to be honest. I'm not sure of his name, and he exposed someone who I had a bit of quite a lot of respect for, to be honest. I think a lot of people, especially from, you know, probably 4 or 5 years ago, I had a lot of respect for this particular person. Totally exposed him. So I'm not naming names or anything. It's not my responsibility. Yeah, it could be the same guy. Very interesting if it is, to be honest. So apologies for maybe being a little bit harsh on your initial comment. Abo 3 bed. What do you think? Automated scalping trading through a script? What I think of? There's probably a place for it. I know some people prefer to let, you know, bots on that work for them. I have very limited experience, to be honest. Yeah, I just prefer to have control of my own trading, to be honest. I'm using a system that works well for me. It's the best way to go about. So Arla, looking at GJ sell or buy, I think you're referring to. Well, sells below the support and buys back above it. So the buy option was if this closed weak bearish, which it's obviously not doing. So you can forget that. But what it has done is form minor resistance at this point as well. So it still becomes the potential entry point for a buy, but you wanting to wait for closure above, and then that could be the option to take it back up. Video, all good, mate, all good. Team View, I can't send links in, it won't let me. Just look it up, it's simple. It's just the same as my profile name. I think it's something in my settings, to be honest, but yeah, I'm not too sure how all this stuff works. No, I'm not gonna muck around with it just now. Yeah, just look it up. Just look it up. It's the same as my profile name. You cannot miss it. Video, do you think A.C.T is fraud? What the actual creator behind it, whoever that is. Look, I have no idea. I've never really looked into it, to be honest. I know people swear by it and everyone trades by it, and I copped it yesterday for ignoring some fair value gap, which I took a win on either way. So look, it could be legit, and I'm sure it is actually, from what I've seen from all the comments, but I've just never tested it out, and I'm not interested in it. There's no need for me, because there's no need to fix something that isn't broke. So I think what could be a little bit fraudulent about it is the fact that you're going to see fair value gaps everywhere and on different time frames. So what is the right time frame, and at what point is it too far gone? For instance, like, I just don't understand. Again, because I've never looked into it. I think it's just, all it comes down to is what you can make work for yourself, whether it be, you know, I.C.T, SMC. What I do, I call A.C.T. And I think my way of trading is very, very simple. It all comes down to some very simple rules at your predetermined levels on the chart. So it stands for analyze, confirm, trade. So the analysis part is based on 4 different time frames, which gives me an overall preferred bias. The zones are generally based on the 4 hour. 4 hours the stronger zones, and the M30. So M30 and M15. M30 is that zone just there. And what I'd be looking for just now is there's a few options. If GJ flips structure in the next 13 minutes to the downside and flipped it bearish, then I could look for options for a sell upon continuation, or I could look for the pullback to retest the most recent resistance formed in the daily candle. And if we were to continue bearish, then we'd likely respect that level and begin to head back down. If we begin to pop above it, I'd be marking in and looking to see whether we've got the margin to take a buy back up to the next resistance, which we probably won't have. So once again, I always start the weekly time frame. Usually on the Friday, I like to trade in line with the strength of the weekly candle, unless I do have a catalyst. In this case, the catalyst would be a structure flip on a 30-minute. And we've got clean traffic below it as well. This is alright in gold, pulling back a bit. Amir? Yeah, so I had a look at gold. For me right now, the preference would be to buy on the pullback around that 30, 73, 70, 72, 73 region. The only time I would consider a sell is once you've got the structure flipping bearish in the M30, but that's not going to happen while I'm on stream anyway. And otherwise, seeing we have pulled back, still makes sense to continue to buy it above the high, still in a big uptrend. Yeah, A.C.T, but I think it's honestly because A.C.T stole and renamed everything. Oh, okay. Not sure. I have no idea. I have absolutely no idea. Yeah, but I don't trade at all based on A.C.T. Not at all. I'm focused on my levels and waiting for right signal within price action, right candle to form. Oh, will it keep going down then reverse? What are we looking at? Gold, you mean? Well, it could be grabbing some liquidity from the downside, which is very healthy for it to do so before it heads back up. And potentially retests and breaks the high. So about when should you buy? Well, for me, I'll be waiting for a confirmation around that 30, 72, 73, 74 region. Thank you to all the new followers, appreciate it. So wait and see how this candle closes, leading to London Open. See if we do have a catalyst to trade at the open. Not going to stick around too long, guys, being Friday. Yeah, so oh, no, it's a really nice catalyst to sell it. Only one thing missing, got an upper wick. But you got impulse, strong impulse, pause, weak pause. If it begins to break that weak pause, there's a high probability clean traffic to left will make a move down. And the only issue is did not have an upper wick. Could have also been a potential limit order, but never would have triggered in. Let's see if GJ is going to close below. Alright, I might, if it does close below, I might look for a limit order. Now for it to be valid, once close about, we want it to close significantly below, so I'll go 8 pips below low that bullish candle. So what's low on this particular broker? 72, but you got to have a look on your actual broker itself. So on this it's 72, so you'd be looking at about 92, 193, 92. Oops, where's that gone? $194.92, sorry. Makes no sense. Hold on, let me look at this again. All right, 194.792. That's what it is. 194.792. And if that's to be the case, limit order sells back at the low of that bullish candle, most recent bullish candle. The other option could be back at the low of the support, but I'd be focused more on the most recent bullish candle because I've got a few valid entries based off the interruption play, which is what we took yesterday on gold, which was absolutely, that was the trade of the week. That was a cracker that tagged us in without any drawdown whatsoever. Literally bounced off the level and pumped straight up, got secured in the end, over 40 pips on that one. So it'd be similar to that. You also got a zone to zone potential limit order valid at the same time. So you're potentially closing below the zone. You're likely going to retest. So for it to be valid, I want it to close below this horizontal. The further option, if it does not close below it, would be the continuation sell. Now what we want for that confirmation is definitely a retest on the new candle, and then you could potentially sell as it begins to break. Or if you want to take a slightly riskier earlier entry, you could sell it as it begins to flip bearish. So it all depends on your risk tolerance. What I would suggest is, if you've had a tough week, don't do anything stupid. If you've had a good week and you're willing to just play for a little bit of the profit, understandable, but don't go, you know, all out on the last day of the week. Why does this look so different on my broker? Wrong time frame, that's why. Low 194.878 on my broker. And being session open, there's going to be a little bit more volatility. So again, be very careful with it. No limit clips. Is that an order block? I call it support. You can call it an order block if that's what you wanted to. Well, let's see. Quickly look at gold. Nothing on gold at the moment. All right, it needs to close below because we need to confirm a structure flip. Otherwise, it definitely comes down to the actual open London Open candle and simple pure price action based off the London Open candle. So it would need to drop towards low, then pull back, create the upper wick, and then drop again. And I would look to sell it as it begins to break its own low for the second time. But let's see, we may get a valid limit order entry just now. And once again, personally, it's a Friday. I'm going really low risk on this one. Already had a good win for today, so I'm just gonna go even a quarter risk just to be involved. Makes sense. All right, let's see. Is it going to close below that horizontal? All right, looks like you got confirmation. Now, for the limit order to be valid, it cannot break the low. We need to pop pretty much straight up. It's popped down. All right, still valid. It's not broken a low. So at this rate, I've got a limit order set for 78. Now, if it begins to break its own low, that would also be a pretty nice entry to sell it, to be honest. Because what it's done is it dropped at the open and popped up, creates upper wick, breaks zone low again, there's a good chance to scrape that liquidity from the upside or make move to the downside. And it's what I think about gold now. It's just pulling back a bit. I think for continuation buys or for further buys, you either need to buy it from a pullback or upon continuation above the high at this rate. It's cooling down a little bit, just picking up some liquidity perhaps. GJ didn't tag me in. Not sure if anyone did get tagged in. Has it tapped into that low just there? 72. 872. What's the high here? Well, on this particular broker, it did tap in, and you'd be at about 6.5 pip profit at the moment. And there you go. It's flipping. If anyone got tagged in, you've got 10 pips. I begin to get to break even and let the rest run. I don't have the order set for continuation. Does make sense. Yeah, but well done if anyone got tagged in on limit order. Same thing as gold yesterday. I just didn't get tagged in today. But exact same shit. Zero drawdown. Look at it. Flip now. You had about 10 pips on the table by the looks of it. Yeah, you had more. You had about 14. 13, 14, something like that. So well done. If anyone did take it, would have been a nice way to end the week. Further sell options if it begins to flip and break its own low. But guys, I'm going to call it because I've got a busy evening. I've got a busy weekend. And it's been a really good week. So yeah, well done. If anyone is in a current GJ sell based off the entry called, well done to anyone who is in gold buys today and throughout the week. It's been a really quality week on stream. Appreciate all the support from everyone on both TikTok and YouTube. If you are looking to trade gold today, bear in mind you do have some high impact news to come still later on for the US dollar. So bear that in mind, but otherwise your options for me would either look to buy it upon the pullback, form support, and there's your option to buy it from support as long as you get the right catalyst to do so. Don't, in my opinion, don't just buy it on its happen. You could if that's within your plan, by all means. Otherwise, closure above, retest, continuation. And the only time we'll consider selling it is once you got confirmation of the structure flipping bearish. And that is below 3,070 roughly. Alrighty team, appreciate the support once again throughout the week. Guys, take care, have a good weekend, and I will catch you all on Monday. Cheers. Take care guys, bye.